How does Hekate help us deconstruct from Christianity? Hello witches, I'm answering questions I've gotten on videos about Hekate. If you have a question, see if I've answered it in a video on the playlist. If not, leave it in the comments. Let's talk first about the 3 things that helped me deconstruct all those terrible, frightened thoughts that Christianity imprinted on my brain. The first was learning about the real history of the Christian church. We got told a lot of lies, such as pretending the Bible is infallible, minimizing the colonization and violence of the church, or even hiding that the Gospels were written by anonymous authors 30 to 80 years after Jesus died. Lots of books have been written on the subject, another thing that was hidden, so I read and follow deconstruction social media creators. It comforts me to know that historians have proof that so much of what's being taught in churches is factually incorrect, even if I don't know everything myself. I'm working on it though. The second thing I've done to deconstruct is thinking real hard on the conflicting philosophies. One of the things that always upset me when I was actively preaching it, how fucked up is that? Is it homosexuals are bound for hell? I asked myself, how is the verbal and physical violence visited on the LGBTQIA+ community consistent with Jesus' teachings? Spoiler alert, it's not. And finally, I've started doing the things that I'm scared of that the Christian church preached would result in fire and brimstone. I've always had an interest in magic and the occult, but I stayed away from it because of a vague unease. At a certain point in my life, I realized I didn't want to live this way anymore, especially since I'd already deconstructed things in my head. It just hadn't moved into my heart. This question came up because ex-Christians have told me that they're afraid to approach Hekate because they were taught she's a demon. She's very much not a demon, and we don't believe that anymore, but we're scared on the 0.0001% chance that we're wrong. 0.000000. The best advice I have is exposure therapy. Feel the fear, plan a small bit of rebellion against it, and do the thing. Set aside 5 minutes to talk to her about your fears. Buy a statue of her, even if you have to lie to yourself and say it's just for decoration. Read a little bit of her history, because after all, it's only history. The more little bits you do, the less fearful you'll be. You were actually taught that by the church, weren't you? It's kind of funny. They were right, but not in the way they insisted. The great thing about Hekate is that she embraces our shadow side, which is all the unwanted stuff inside us, including fear. You can tell her about all the terrible things the church taught about her and all the awful things the church did to you. Things you've never told anyone else. The desperate desire to heal it, and your fear that you're broken beyond repair. She wants to help you with all of it. So if a small part of you is willing, please let her. This is a place where one of her epithets can come in useful. Hekate Borbora means Hekate the filth eater. You'll see me evoke this against particularly heinous comments I get. Why the filth eater? She takes all those things that are disgusting and gruesome that we don't want, and she transmutes them into goodness and light. Give her your filth and she will transmute it.